Here's how to make hundreds of thousands of dollars with over-the-counter tax deeds in the next 12 months following some very simple steps. And what I love about over-the-counter tax deeds is you can buy these properties for literally just the back taxes owed, aka the opening bid on these properties because they didn't sell at the tax deed auction. So this is an area of real estate where there's actually a lot of heated debate, okay? And here's why there's some heated debate. You're gonna have folks in the comments saying, it's all garbage at these over-the-counter lists. There's a reason they didn't sell at the sale. Meanwhile, this person who's climbed up the poll, maybe they've only been to, called a couple counties. Maybe they've only called 5 or 10 counties. The thing is, there's 3,300 counties. 1,500 of them are tax deed counties, okay? So before you make a judgment, make sure you've called a couple hundred of these. So I'm gonna dive in. I've bought property for as little as 50 bucks. I've had my students buy apartment buildings for as little as 50 bucks. I know it sounds absolutely crazy, sounds like BS, but it can happen. And the way they got that apartment building, there was actually more money owed, but the county wanted that apartment back on the tax roll, and they said, hey, you gotta fix it up within 12 months, was part of it. But could have flipped that property for hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you want to get into this business, now is one of the best times in history to start. This channel is dedicated to giving you a different method of real estate investing to give you a life of freedom, fun, and adventure through real estate. So if you're stuck in the rat race, like I say, I was a miserable oil rig worker. This is the business that got me into it. I'd be doing front-end work or front-end loader work on the oil rigs, working -40, listening to tapes and cassettes to learn this business. Now you're in the comfort, you're watching this thing on your phone. So if you like this information, this content, I'm Dustin Hahn. I help you do this. And give this video a thumbs up if you like it. From there, make sure you don't miss out. So if you like, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. So that way you're up to date with the most current videos and you have the latest information to go and do this sort of stuff. Share this video. If you have a friend or family you want to get into it with, share the video. And for anybody who's tuning in, I give away a totally free mini course called the ABCs of Tax Lien Deed Investing. It's in the link below. It's a completely free, I used to sell this thing, and you have some on-demand trainings that'll show you exactly how to start this business here today. Get a deal within 30 days, Tax Lien and Deed Investing 101. Totally free on demand in the link below, okay? So let's make this the best year possible with over-the-counter deeds. And how you're going to do this, okay? You need to really hit some critical mass. Now, this is a bit of a fishing expedition, okay? There's 1,500 counties, and some of you may hit the jackpot in your first 5 counties. Boom, away you go, you get some deals. When I started in this business, I was living in Canada. I had to drive down to the US. It was tough. So, for example, I would find properties close to the border, take a cheap flight, and drive down, and I got tons of lots for $500-600 bucks, worth $10,000. That's what's great about over-the-counter deeds is actually for land. There's a huge opportunity to really get dirt cheap land. Okay, so what you need to do is first off, if you're in a deed state, call every county, see what's left over. If you're in a lien state, start calling places that are close to you that might have some of these leftover deeds. It's going to be a tax deed state. Start with places maybe that you're familiar with. The other cool thing about over-the-counter deeds is the fact that you can gauge buyer interest actually before you buy it. There's been times where I've bought lots and then I went to the neighbor and said, hey, I see you've been cutting the grass here. You want to buy this lot for $5,000 bucks? And then they're like, oh yeah, that'd be a good deal. From there, I go down to the county, buy it for a couple $100 bucks, and then just sell it to them. Make the money that day, okay? There are great deals happening all the time, and you're helping the government. You're getting that inventory off their books, you're getting it back on the tax roll, and maybe maybe I should go for sponsors for local county governments. I know they'd never do it, but that'd be pretty funny, hey? Sponsored by Maricopa County. My sponsorship rate for this channel, from the county, I don't know, $100,000 for a commercial. If you know somebody, we'll give you a referral. Anyways, sidetrack there. Coming back to these over-the-counter deeds. So you can leverage that buyer interest, but be aware of junk properties, okay? With these over-the-counter properties, you definitely, if you can see them in person, do that, or send somebody you know who has boots on the ground experience or can go take photos, pictures, and videos, because maybe the property burned down, maybe it was flooded, and it's very, very important to check these things out. And that's why land is actually pretty cool, because you don't have to worry about any of that stuff, okay? From there, just make sure to check the title, okay? Make sure there's no huge city liens. One time there was a super cheap property, I think, what was it? It was like a couple $100, but there was like a $30,000 city lien because they did a bunch of like road work or something like that. So check that out. Now, that being said, there's also opportunity. If something has a large city lien or something like that, or if it's been sitting, you can also negotiate with the county. Say, look, you know, you've had this property sitting for 5 years. You know, I'll give you half that. Sometimes they'll negotiate just to get it back on the tax roll. Strike a deal. Get creative in this business. You're going to get a lot of no's in this business. You know, you'll call a county and they'll say, we don't even offer tax liens and deeds, when really they do. Okay. I had a guy ask me today, they said, oh, my county doesn't do tax deed sales. They only do sheriff sales. The sheriff sale is the tax deed sale. It's always, well, a lot of the time the sheriff is the one doing the auction. Okay, so this is important. The next thing you want to do is make sure to build yourself a buyer's list. And that can be super easy. Go to every auction in your county, whether it's a foreclosure auction, a car auction, and network. These are people who are buying cash. It's one of the best ways to build your buyer's list, to be able to flip these things super, super quickly. All right, now it's time to get started on this journey. What I want you to do is call at least 10 a day and see what they have. Don't give up. There's so many whiny people that get into this business because all they do is they only call like 5 or 10 people. Or some people screw it up completely and they say, oh, it doesn't work. You know, they live in a lien state, or just because remember, not every single county is going to have over-the-counter deeds. Just because they don't, this is a business of nuance. Just because they don't have it doesn't mean that the county next door does. Just because they don't do it this year doesn't mean that next year they might change it. Just because a place is a tax deed state or county one year doesn't mean they won't flip. Some places do both liens and deeds, okay? There's 3,300 counties. It's in constant flux. So my goal here is to give you the tools to be able to navigate this business and be dynamic, right? Is what I like to do. So if you're liking this stuff, like I mentioned, hit the thumbs up on this video. Helps the channel. Ask a question in the comments. I would love to hear from you. And make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any information. And if you have a family member or friend, share this video. And once again, check out the other videos and check out the free training, the ABCs of Tax Lien Deed. It'll show you how to start. Some of you watching this, it might even be you, will have your first property tomorrow. You can just go through this stuff. There's like, I think 250 reviews now online. People love it. Regardless, thanks for tuning in. I respect the fact that you take your time to watch these videos, and I will continue to do my best to help you get into this business and help you succeed, because it can really change your life. All right, see you in the next one.